Oh, Lord. It is hot. Hot in Fiji today. Good God.
Oh my God.
Woo.
Someone's fired up.
And it's not me, it's Kaylor.
Yeah, well,
Oh, Lord.
so
Woo.
anyway. Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Cup Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently just drinking water because hydration is important and we have to stay hydrated here on this island because baby it's
Yes, God.
hot.
Yes,
So
God.
drink your water. If you're in someplace hot, stay hydrated. Thank you. If I was drinking tea or anything else, well, maybe not. You know what? Let's be honest. I don't really drink out of this, but she's just cute to have around. It's my cup mug. Ooh, panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup mugs. Brr. And you can get your cup mugs or any of our cup merch at lanathiescreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States and Canada and Mexico. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch. We have some great stuff in that store. Go check it out.
Yes, we sure do, including but not limited to bottles, socks, fanny packs, and a bunch of other fun stuff. So make sure to go check it out. We got a lot of fun, fabulous stuff. So I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I too just am drinking water today. Because it is. I usually in the bottom corner of my computer it tells me what the temperature is. Currently it just says hot weather. Yeah, it's 103. So it's very, very fun. But what else was hot, steamy, spicy, and all around a goddamn mess was this episode of Love Island, Lana.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
mean,
was a
we knew
mess.
movie night was going to be something.
I Yeah, it's a lot to talk about, and we're going to dive all in there because I
Let's
got
go.
a lot to say. I won't
I
be
do too.
surprised if this one goes over an hour because
No, I think it might because I just think there is a lot to dive
there's a
into.
lot to talk about. But before we get into it, we get the business part out of the way. Hit the subscribe button here and the notification bell so you won't miss a single video that we drop, especially about Love Island. If you're into Love Island, which we see you guys, I appreciate you watching. We see you watching, and we appreciate you. But if you are interested in all the Love Island shenanigans and foolishness that's happening, we are the source to come to you, and we will give you all the info that we got on Love Island and our personal opinions thrown in there as well. We have the mole that we're covering. We're also about to start covering Big Brother, so things are heating up here on the Cup TV. So you don't want to miss
Come
a
on,
single video.
BBAI.
You don't want to miss a single moment of the Cup TV. Also, we have three other channels that you don't want to miss a single moment of because we have a lot of stuff going on there as well. So
Yes, God.
hit the link below in our description below. Hit our link tree to get all the YouTube links, all the audio podcast links so you can listen to us on the go, as well as our Patreon link so you can get early access to a lot of the videos, some videos from across all four channels, and exclusive content that is never going to come out on the channel, just exclusively in our Patreon. So check that out as well. Let's get into it because yeah, Love Island is. Let me start off by
Okay.
saying, let me start off by saying this phrase. Daya girl,
Uh,
have several seats. Have
please.
several seats. Like, you
The
look so dumb right now. You look so dumb right. I picked a flower from a
uh-huh.
bouquet and gave it to you on yesterday's on the other episode. I want to take it back. because you look so dumb right now. How dare you? How dare you go up to Serena and tell her that you finna break it off with Cordell? What? When Cordell literally told Serena the night before he's ending it with you.
I'm glad we're starting here. Because I think this is a really good place to start. I also don't know how chronologically we're going to go in this episode. I feel like we're going to end up
all over the place.
Yeah, we're going to bounce around a lot today, y'all. But I'm glad we're starting with this situation because, and I'm glad that we are feeling very similar about it. I wasn't 100% sure, but I'm glad we're feeling similar about it. For me, there was just this like sense of entitlement in this episode from Dea, where it just felt like she was like, no, I don't want to look like Boo Boo the Fool getting dumped by this man. So I'm going to go ahead and just end it because like suddenly I've switched off and I don't care. And I will say, I do understand her perspective on this. The way she went about it, I don't agree with. But I do understand with her perspective of their connection was really great in Casa. He brought her back. She thought him bringing her back meant she was going to be the one. And obviously so much shit has gone down. And he has had to prioritize the damage control with Serena over spending time with her. So I do understand. If I was in Dea's position, I probably would feel very similarly. I gotta be honest here. And her feelings about this situation are very valid. And I understand that. Especially the fact that she went in specifically for Cordell because she blew up his brother's, social media shit. And I appreciate Cordell also for wanting to break things off. And I honestly think whether he says it or not, the OBJ tweet is absolutely part of the reason why it happened. Absolutely. I don't think he's going to say anything about that until after the show. Once he actually finds out that it is 100% for real, I think it'll be fine. And I also think Cordell's a smart kid. He knows that if the producers are bringing up something like this in a game, it's because it's a real scenario. Like, and in a similar way to like Liv was acting like a bitch. Like these are kind of things. So there was just this sense of entitlement and this sense of I don't want to look like a clown on national TV. Which is why I think her like shift, on TV. Which she already has done. So like, the damage was already done, sister. I'm very excited for her to leave at the next time there's a dumping. I'm excited for her to go. I'm excited to not have to deal with her anymore, quite honestly. The way this just entitlement, even the conversation she had with Cordell, like the way she went about it for me was strange. Again, her feelings about it are valid, and I'm glad that she did voice the fact that she was like, you came in here, you brought me back, and you have not focused on me since you've been back. You've only been focusing on repairing things with Serena. Clearly, your connection is there with her because you would have decided to spend time with me had you wanted to do that if the connection was there. Clearly, our connection is purely physical, and that's fine. And her communicating that with Cordell, great. The way she went about it for me was just all kinds of no. I didn't know I was that passionate about this shit. Damn, all right.
Here's my thing. I'm like, I get it. I get what she felt, how she felt. But you came in talking about, I don't want to feel like the side piece. You were the side piece. Like
you were always the side piece.
You literally, when he explained why he brought you back, was giving side piece material. Like
exactly.
You knew Serena was at the villa, and you were in Casa trying to take somebody else's man. So you apparently was the side piece from jump. And he told you his connection with Serena was strong, very strong. It's going to take a lot for him to turn his head. He told you bringing you back was to test the feelings and the connection that he had with Serena.
Yeah.
That side piece energy. Like you were
It's
never.
always been side piece. I think the thing that threw Dea off was in that conversation where he said, "It's going to take a lot to turn my head, but you're checking a lot of the boxes."
Yeah, she took that as, oh, I'm gonna get it. Oh, I did it.
Exactly.
And that's your
Communication
fault.
between all three of these people has just been toxic at the most
I mean, but
possible.
that's
Like,
your fault for taking it as when he said, but you're
Agreed.
checking all the boxes, it's taking it. Oh, I got it. I took no, you didn't check you're checking the boxes, not you checked all the boxes. Like you need to listen to the small context clues. The man didn't
Yeah.
say you checked all the boxes and therefore, my head is turned. No, he was like, you're checking the boxes.
Yep.
You're checking all of the boxes. And so it's like the little thing. But I don't understand why the Casa girls didn't feel like they were side pieces. You were all side pieces coming into the game. Like that is the whole point of Casa. You're the side piece. You're coming to, and sometimes the side piece wins. Sometimes the side piece wins, but most of the time the side pieces don't win.
And
It's
in this case, they haven't.
all the side pieces just didn't win. It is what it is, and I feel like she was just so. What made me go, ugh? Like, first going to Serena, trying to talk about how you are not gonna be disrespected, like that's not happening. I'm not gonna let
When
this
you've been part of the disrespecting of
disrespect.
Serena.
Right. And he's like, I'm not gonna talk to disrespect. I'm not gonna let him do that. Like he brought me back only to
And
not pay attention to me and da 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 da. And then you're like, and this child, I'm not gonna let this child talk to me like this or treat me like this or do me like this. I'm like, was he a child when you was humping all up on him? Was he a child when you had your
shaking in the
tongue rammed
ass.
down his
Yeah,
throat?
like
Was he a child all those times before, and now because he doesn't want you, he's a child? Like,
she
girl,
is.
mama, please. You're
She
28
gives
years old. You know better than that.
right. She gives me the energy that she has always gotten the man that she wants. Because let's be honest, she is a very gorgeous girl. She's a gorgeous girl with a lot going for her. And I don't think she's used to having to work for a man like that. And she thought she was just going to come into Casa, swoop up Cordell, and sail to the end of the season and win. Like, that is the energy she is giving. And the moment that she didn't get that, she was like, nah, this child, like exactly what you said, Lana. Like the verbiage that she's using to describe him suddenly shifted so severely.
Because just a second ago, weren't you saying you would love him, you would like him if he was homeless on the street?
Right. Like
he wasn't a child then.
Baby, the math ain't mathin', and I'm ready for her to go. The other interesting thing about this whole situation is you could see the complexity of the situation in Serena's eyes, both in this first conversation in the morning where Dea is telling her that she's going to break it off, and then after she breaks it off,
why she felt the need to come back to Serena. Why did she feel the need to come back?
She storms off from Cordell, walks straight up to Serena and goes, yeah, I've ended things with him, blah, blah, blah. You didn't end things with him. He talked first. He ended it with you. It may have been a mutual situation, and you might both have had the intention to do it at the same time, but he did it first. Point blank and the period. Like, but the way she comes up to Serena and is just like, he's all yours, enjoy. And like, you can see the complexity in Serena's eyes between being like, it's a little bit of like girl code, meaning like, how the fuck do I actually feel about Cordell now? Do I need to be offended at the fact that she's calling him a child and all of these names? Even though she has also said several of those things about him since he got back from Casa. But there was this like weird dichotomy that I saw Serena processing in real time. And I was like, oh, baby.
This girl was trying to make Serena feel like you don't want him either. I don't want him. You don't want him. He's a child. Da da da. She was trying to make Serena have feelings of, girl, we done dodged the bullet with this one. We don't need him. He ain't this. He ain't that. He's a child. You can have them. And I'm like, first of all, Serena, you can't give somebody someone who they already got. Like if Serena would have stood on that stage the minute Cordell walked back in Casa with Daya and said, Cordell, stop playing. You know I like you. Get over here. Cordell would have left Daya standing up that thing. Wouldn't have been no recoupling. He'd be like, you know what I do? I don't even know why I brought her back. You can't give somebody who they already got. Cordell never left Serena. He never left. You can't be like, girl, you can have him. I know I can. I could have had him at any moment. You walk back in here with him. I could have had him. If I would have said, you know what, screw it. It's over. You made your point. Let's bring it together. Cordell would have left Daya in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. If in that argument, Serena was like, okay, fine. I forgive you. Just break it off with old girl. He would have walked right over there and be like, it's done. I can't hear you anymore if you're saying anything.
I was muted because I was eating some ice. I agree completely. He would have just dropped her
like a sack of
like a hot potato. Well, same analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. What do you think is going to happen with Serena? Because
she's going to take him back.
I think so too. I think she just needs, and I think, I agree with you. I'm worried about what else is going there, what else they're going to show during movie night.
I don't think, well, for Cordell's part, I don't think they have anything to show about Cordell, but it might be things Serena might have said. That if they show anything, it could be what Serena might have said.
See, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
It was the most tame thing we saw in movie night. The
tamest thing ever.
And I'll talk about my frustration with a lot of the way that some of these people handled movie night. Like,
we'll definitely get that. We'll definitely get that. But I think that's what it. I think they'll survive this. I think Serena will come to realize that her feelings for him are so much stronger than she intended them to be or thought they would be. And so now she's like, okay, I think she'll have those moments of clarity. But let's move off of Serena and the Serena Cordell Daya incident. And let's move over to the Janae and Kenny of it all, because they made me get in my feels. They made me get in my feels because, number one, Kenny finally realized where his head is and where his heart is, and where
God,
and like he just knows. And he was just like,
I love that.
The moment he said these few words, my heart melted for him and for her. Mm-hmm. And I was very happy when he said, when there's the next recoupling, just know I'll be talking about you. And I was just like, oh, finally, because honestly, when he does choose Janae, he will be the first person to choose Janae strictly for her. Yeah. Because besides Coy, but that wasn't even, but I'm talking about at a recoupling ceremony. The first one she chose Connor. The second
she didn't even pick Coy.
She picked Coy.
I meant he didn't pick her. He got picked by three girls, and he did pick her. He did pick her.
Would you let me finish?
Sorry, I'm processing it in real time. Go ahead.
I was like, in the initial, he did pick her over the three girls, but I'm talking about strictly at recoupling ceremonies.
Yes,
she had to pick Connor first.
Yeah,
Hakeem only picked her because there was no options left for him. So she never have been picked at a recoupling ceremony by a guy that actually wants her.
I'm so happy.
So I'm very happy that he was like, I want you. I need you. And I'm like, Janae is such a giver. And I'm seeing that. She's such a nurturer. And like, she's one of those, I think she would be one of those women that'll be a great, like, stay-at-home wife. Like, You go to work.
I want her to like have her business and be a businesswoman, but also like be a good mother. And like,
I mean, if she wants to, and see, that's the
Yeah.
great thing about being a woman. If she wants to have a business and be that boss, she can do that. But if she
Yeah.
wants to be a stay-at-home mother, that's the hardest job in the world.
Oh,
And so
absolutely. I see
feel
her
like
as a balance of both, personally.
I see her as a great stay-at-home mother, having
That'll work.
2,
Okay.
3 kids, making sure her man, but he has to be somebody who's going to be on business. Like he
Right.
has to have a job that's going to put her in a comfortable lifestyle where
Yeah.
she doesn't have to feel worried or whatever.
Or they have to both be on business together. Like it has to be
Yes.
either they're doing like a joint venture situation, or he needs to make sure he is standing on business and making sure he's got his shit together. Like
Right. And he has money where they don't feel like he can cover the
Exactly.
lifestyle that she has,
Exactly.
and she won't feel like, you know,
Exactly.
that's the only way I can see Janae, being a stay at home. But I can see her doing it because she's so nurturing.
Yeah.
She's like, he was like, even the 3 days we were apart and we weren't a couple, you made your presence felt like in little things like, hey, Kenny, your water bottle, here it is. Oh, hey, Kenny, how you doing this morning? And just little stuff. She was like, yeah, who's going to fold your clothes? And I can see that. I can see the domesticated side of her wanting to do that. Like, be there for her man, making his lunch, making his dinner, making sure dinner's ready when he gets home. He's satisfied. He's taking care of business at home. She's taking care of business at home. And they're just happy. I can see that for her. And I want that for her. I want whatever she wants to make her happy. But that in that moment, I felt very happy for her because like I said, I just love Janae. Anything to make her happy. And if it's Kenny, let it be Kenny. But I just wanted to, whatever makes her happy and that she feels desired and she feels wanted and she feels secure and safe. And
Definitely.
I love that for her. And then Kenny walked right over, pulled Catherine, and baby Catherine, girl, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for you.
She handled this maybe better than anyone has been dumped this season. For me
Sierra
personally,
handled it good too.
Sierra handled it very, very well as well. But here's what I liked about what happened with Catherine. She still made her feelings known. Like, I've really enjoyed the time that I've gotten to spend with you. I think
you
it's
like
been
that?
really good.
I found that so embarrassing.
Oh no, I was like, what I'm saying is she made her points clear, but also she was like, she was saying it without saying it. Like, I can tell that your feelings and your situation is with Janae, but I've really enjoyed the time.
She did not say that. She did not say that.
No, that's not what she said. No, that's not what I said. She said, I've really enjoyed the time that we spent together. Like, she said it without saying it for me. That's the energy that I got. What I liked was that she shared her thoughts, but also took it on the chin in a very respectful way and was very respectful about the whole situation. That's the point I'm trying to make.
What I saw was totally different because
all right.
I saw her knowing it ain't working. I saw her knowing he wasn't feeling her like she thought. And when he came and sat down, she would not let him finish his statement. She would not let him talk. No. She was jumping in like, oh, but I mean, no. And then here was the caveat. Oh, how was your conversation with Nene? I love her. Like, I was like, girl.
Oh,
and then
baby.
I was like, girl, no. I see what you're doing, girl. Okay. And then she was like, not letting him speak. He's like, well, I just want you to know that I just like you and you're the only person that I like. And I don't like anybody else in this villa. It's just you. And I feel so giddy talking to you. And I want you to know. And he was like, I feel like we're just so good together. I just do. And I was just like, girl, you are grasping.
Baby, you gotta give it up.
You gotta let it go. Like, and he's like, oh, I just wanted to let you know that I'm feeling Janae. And in that moment, she was like, crack. Face crack. And it was like, oh, she had no choice but to take it on the chin. What's she supposed to say after that? Like, No, you're feeling me. No, you're
She
feeling
could have
me.
stormed off. It could have been a whole situation.
But that ain't even in her
Yeah,
nature. That I can
I
tell by
know,
her
and
demeanor. That's
yeah,
not even in her nature. And so she wouldn't do that. She is very. I will give her that. She is very classy. She is very a
yes,
very classy girl, and that's not even in her demeanor.
yeah,
There is nothing that she has shown that would even think that would make anybody believe that she would be like and storm off. Like that's not even. She's not childish. She's
yeah.
not petty. But I just felt so bad because I wanted so much better for her. And I think she deserves a lot. And we don't know when these
I
bombshells are coming in. And even if they
I am
do,
still hopeful.
I mean, she
Still
might
hopeful.
stay. But
And the reason why she's gonna stay is because I think that with the Nicole and Kendall situation now,
yeah. But see, here's the thing. Also, there are more people now who's available.
yeah.
He might like Catherine. And he might have said Nicole and Catherine, but that don't mean
But
he might not talk to
maybe he'll
anybody
pick
else.
up Liv. Let's pray to God. Let's pray to God.
I mean, there's the
But no,
choices. There's the options.
I agree with you. I just think she took it in a very classy way. I
Mhm.
really genuinely hope that either she gets something from this season with Harrison when eventually he decides he's going to show up in the villa, or the producers more so decide that, or if she comes back on like a potential future season and actually gets an opportunity. Like, I just think she is someone that if you give her more time, we would see a lot of her and we would
Mhm.
see her find a real connection. And I just would like to see that. I don't know why I've gravitated so closely to
Passionately.
Catherine. I don't know why.
I don't know
I
why either,
just
but
really would
I think
like
it's
to.
the
I really would
Arizona.
like. And
It's the
honestly,
Arizona.
it might
It's the
be. It might.
Arizona of it
I'm just
all.
like, she's my Arizona girl. Like, I just really would like to see something good for her. That's all.
Yeah, that's the Arizona. That's really if she wasn't from Arizona, you would care less about that girl. You would
Honestly,
care.
probably,
But anyway.
probably, probably.
But
But
yeah, she did take it in a very classy way and was like, I appreciate you telling me
yeah,
because I'm not one to be juggled. And
definitely.
I'm like, absolutely. So in a matter of 2 days,
Yeah,
all the Casa girls have been dumped except
yeah.
Daniela. Mm,
I
interesting.
have. I have a theory. We'll get
Okay.
to that later.
All
But I have a
right.
theory.
All
I have a
right.
theory about what might happen. I was going
Okay.
to say, speaking of Casa, I don't remember what order they happened in, but do you want to shift to Sierra? Or
Yeah,
do you
because
want to
that's
shift?
actually what happened next.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh,
Sierra,
actually, the whole situation is kind of intertwined.
right, the Sierra and Kane of it all.
Yes.
Because Kane apparently been looking at Sierra
Has
since
been
she walked
I
in the
fucking Sierra.
door.
Yeah, has been I fucking Sierra since they started in the villa together during
And
the
we were like,
recoupling.
had no, like he said, literally, he was like, I was looking at this girl from the moment she walked in with Miguel. And I was like, dang, she pretty. And I was like, yeah, she is gorgeous. But so, and you know what? I ain't mad at this
Yeah.
because honestly, Kane and Leah weren't doing anything. They weren't giving anything, anything at all. Like Liv barely talked to him. He barely talked to her. He spent more time talking to the guys. Liv spent more time talking to the girls. It just wasn't giving. Um, but see, he went and pulled Sierra for a chat and they talked. And she was like, I noticed you were looking at me and I didn't want to be disrespectful and step on toes. So I didn't do anything. He was like, same Ree. I didn't do anything because I didn't want to. And
Respectful
she,
queen. Respectful
both of them
queen.
were very respectful to each other's partners. And I
The
was like,
Yeah.
go
The
ahead.
only thing I do wish, and I do agree honestly with Liv, I
If
wish
he
he
talked to
had
her first.
said, I wish he had said definitively to Liv before he talked to Sierra, hey, we're great. I'm interested in Sierra. I wish he had broken things off with Liv before he talked to Sierra, because
I mean,
I understand Liv's feelings about it. I understand Kane's feelings about it too. I do also agree with you. I think they both went about it in a very respectful way. But if I was Liv in this scenario, I would feel a little slighted by it, given also Liv's track record in this villa. I think it was just a little bit heightened.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, I do love that when we do get the conversation later on with Liv and Kane, where Kane is like, basically friend zones her. I do appreciate that he completely apologized and did own up to it. And I was like, all right, Kane, I'm in with you, Kane. I see you, Kane. I wish it would have worked out with our girl Liv, because I'm expecting to lose Liv this week. I'm at that point. I'm like, we're losing Liv. It's fine. I'm sad about it, but I'm expecting it at this point. But I thought they both went about it. From an outsider's perspective, I think Sierra and Kane went about it in a very respectful manner.
I do. And here's my thing. I feel like I love Liv, and I do appreciate Liv, but I'm like, Liv, you saw it. The writing was on the wall as well. Like, you could have came and ended it with him too, but you were kind of like, I don't want to do it. You didn't want to do it because you knew that was your only person.
She wanted to hold on to the security of a couple for the time being.
Absolutely. And you knew that. And so I don't really think it matters the order, because honestly, what if he wouldn't talk to Sierra? If he broke it off with Liv first, wouldn't talk to Sierra, and realized that they didn't click.
Right.
Then what?
Yeah.
Then what? It's like, it's a chat. It's a chat. It's literally just a chat. It wasn't him saying, I want to fully pursue Sierra without, that's it. Like, you're done. I'm fully on her. It was their first chat. It was like, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. He wanted to see if that was a connection that could possibly be. And if it was, then he'd go to Liv and say, hey, I feel like this connection with Sierra is something I want to explore. But if it wasn't, he could just leave it be. Like, I don't see the big deal of him talking to Sierra first before talking to Liv, because eventually he was going to have to talk to Liv anyway. In that moment, I felt everything was heightened. So when Liv was yelling at him in the room, like, you could have said something to me first. Like, come on, Liv, dial it back. I think you were a little too petty in that moment, because it really wasn't that big of a deal. He was going to talk to you. It was literally their first chat, literally off the top, surface level, trying to figure out if the vibes were right. If the vibes were right, he then comes to tell you, hey, I'm talking to Sierra, just had a chat with her. I feel like this is a place I want to explore. Da, 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 da. If it wasn't, he could still come right back to you, and y'all still have these non-existent chats that y'all been having. So
exactly.
I just felt like in that moment, Liv overreacted, that it wasn't that big of a deal in that moment. But I get her track record, and so she's feeling a little vulnerable. But give the man some time to figure out his feelings before he comes talk to you. Because if he went to talk to you prematurely about some feelings about somebody who he never talked to, and then he go talk to him, and then those feelings are just not right.
Yeah.
Like,
no, totally.
Then what? And so that was my take. I felt like it was a little premature to get mad at Kane at that moment when it was his very first chat with Sierra. And then,
I agree with that.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. But like we say, we're dealing with 21, 22-year-olds who...
How old is Kane?
I don't know. I don't know how old Kane is. But it just feels like it's we're dealing with young people with all this moment in Love Island.
Because
all consuming.
Most of these people are like around my age. So it's like,
I think Sierra's like 23, 24, something like
Kane
that.
Kane is 28.
Okay.
Sierra is Sierra's 22?
Oh, baby. See? And Liv is 21. And Liv is 22.
No.
Yeah.
I thought Liv was much older.
Yeah, Liv is 22.
Whoa.
So, like, these are babies dealing... And that's why that's why I feel like Kane was kind of like, why are you tripping? Because Kane was like, I know what I don't understand. And I don't think he did anything wrong. I honestly don't think he did anything wrong in this situation. And Liv was just overreacting because of track record, how she's always left out. And it's not fair to Kane, but it's not fair to Liv as well. But they fixed it. Sierra and Kane were talking, which I'm not mad at, because it really was nothing happening between Kane and Liv.
No, and I gotta be honest, it's working out for our girl Sierra, so I'm not all that bad at it.
I'm not mad at
I
either.
said I wanted Sierra in the villa to potentially get a relationship with one of the Casa guys. There's only one Casa guy available, but I am happy to see. I'm happy to see it. Because I will say, I'm coming around to Kane. I think Kane is a very respectful guy.
Mm-hmm.
The conversations that they were having at first between him and Sierra, I gotta be honest, was a little one-sided.
Very
but
surface.
it's very surface, but he quickly got a level of comfortability with her, and it kind of like settled into a really nice chat between the two of them. I'm excited to see what comes of them, because I have to say, I like the two of them together.
I wasn't mad at it.
I don't know if they'll work, in the real world,
right.
But yeah.
Get you stay to as long as you can in the villa.
Right,
period.
Right.
So
Hideaway.
After that,
Hideaway.
I skipped over that.
I forgot you skipped the Hideaway. So
I mean, I saw it, and I will say this: the budget for this Hideaway.
That is most of what I wanted to talk about, because when Ian was like, "Oh, the brand new Hideaway," I was like, "Oh, what?" Bitch, it's a whole fucking villa.
It's a whole villa within the villa. I thought that was beautiful.
Villaception. Like,
it was beautiful. I mean, they walked into another outdoor terrace-like thing with the hot tub and all these things. It was beautiful. Candles everywhere.
Yeah.
The room was spacious.
It was so good.
The bed was beautiful. They had their little kink room. They had champagne.
The way that they had cuffs and whips, and I was like...
Well, they had that last time, too. I was like, okay.
I know, but I'm always just like, oh, okay.
I mean, look, this is what we're here for. If you're going into the Hideaway, that is what you're there for, to explore.
Oh, no.
And have fun.
I understand completely. I was just like, all right, then. Cool. I mean, the main thing I just wanted to acknowledge from the Hideaway section is that Kendall and Nicole do agree that they want to be closed off.
Yes, I did see that.
What I like the most about this whole segment is the morning after, when every single person is just hyping them all up. And I love Nicole with her restaurant analogy.
Serena was like, "Did you have finger food?"
Finger foods killed me.
I was like, "Oh, okay, yes, ma'am."
I am happy for Nicole that the sex is good. I'm happy for Nicole that it's good. She got a lot to deal with that man, but
at least the sex is good.
At least, and honest to God, I think that might be the reason why she didn't work. I see it. I think that, because we'll talk about the bullshit with Kendall in the Hideaway, or in the movie night, but I don't see them breaking up. I honestly don't.
Outside of the villa or before the show?
In the villa. In the villa,
they're not breaking up.
They're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
In the outside world,
they're breaking up.
I
give it 6 months.
To bring up a past analogy, it feels very 50-50 to me.
I give it 6 months.
Oh, shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Hannah. Hannah would have been great in Casa. Anyway.
I give it 6 months in
the valid.
Outside the house.
Valid. The only relationship I currently see actually making it outside of the villa is Janae and Kenny. At this point, it's the only one I see working.
I give it 6 months.
Janae and Kenny?
Outside the villa.
Really?
I don't think anybody's working outside the villa.
I think if anyone, it'll be Janae and Kenny.
I think, honestly, if it's anyone, it's going to be Cordell and Serena if they get back together. And here's why. Because they went through so much trauma and drama that if you can get past this, you can get past anything. I think you're right. I don't know. We'll see. Because of the slow burn of it all, he literally had to put in the work for her. Yeah. And because she was taking her time, she literally had to get to really know him. They took the right paths of more real life, outside life relationships in the villa than anybody else. Everybody else was like, we're here for the game, we're fun, we love, we go. We're just so in lust with each other that they don't really know each other. I think Serena and Cordell actually really do know each other. And if they get back together, I think they would have the best situation to actually make it outside of the villa. They both live in Houston, so it's not like it's going to be a huge long distance relationship type deal. They can nurture their relationship better than anybody else living on opposite sides of the world. So I think if anybody makes it, if they get back together, we don't even know if they're going to get back together, but if they decide to get back together, I think they would be the one to make it the longest because of the trauma that they had to deal with in the villa.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I see it. I still think right now for me, I think it'll be Janae and Kenny, but
6 months. I think she's so just ready for happiness that she's overlooking a lot of stuff. And I think the same thing with him.
But she had a dream about a man whose name started with K, who was from New York.
His name didn't start with K. His name didn't start with K.
I thought that was part of her dream.
Her dream was a Latino man who is 6'3", who lives in New York.
Oh, I thought the K was part of it.
No, the K was not part of it.
Okay. Well, hey, he still fits the bill otherwise.
Yes,
so.
He's Dominican, he's 6'3", and he lives in the Bronx. So he is that dream that she had.
Do we have anything else other than movie night?
I mean, Leah and Miguel had a conversation, and they were just
Leah and Miguel.
Leah and Miguel had a conversation. We could talk on the Aaron Kaler situation.
I was gonna say that's the one other thing we didn't because there were L bombs exchanged in a very, I will say, manipulative
way.
100%.
This man is the epitome of master manipulator.
Yeah.
Because
that's why he won the Traders. That is why he won the Traders.
As a faithful. Because he knew exactly who the Traders was, and he took them to the end and dumped them at the last minute. You knew. See, like I said,
he is playing Traders as Love Island.
It's so okay. He told Rob earlier that he wanted to make Kayla his girlfriend. He wanted her to be his girlfriend only because he just wanted her to shut up. That's what he wanted to do. He wormed his way back into her life, and they hugging up and they kissing. She finds out in the challenge the other day about how the public knows more than what she does and how we feel bad for her. And she's like, I don't understand what this is about. And Daniela and Aaron both decide to let her know it was probably about a shower conversation. Damn, she don't know that wasn't about that shower conversation, but okay. But sure. And so when she asked him about the shower, it's a joke. It's a joke. It was a joke. It was a throwaway comment. It's a joke. I didn't mean it. It was a joke. So you should take it as a joke. You shouldn't get mad at it because it was a joke. Even though we took a shower right before you went to Casa together for the first time, and now you're offering this other girl a shower. It was a joke. And you should just take it as the joke it is, Kayla. Like, relax, calm down. And when she doesn't, you're mad and you start yelling at her and telling her how wrong she is for not taking it as a joke, and you're doing too much, and you just don't trust me, and if you don't trust me, what do we have? Da 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 da. Kayla was like, I don't understand how you aren't seeing how important this is to me, and why you literally, Aaron, all he needed to do was say, you know what, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it. I know it's very a big deal to you. I thought it was a joke. That was my bad. If he would have just said that. But he's not. No, he's doubling down on how much it was a joke and how stupid she is for not taking it as a joke. And so she's getting mad because she's feeling like he's calling her dumb, which he pretty much is. And she's like, you know what? I can't. So she walks away from the fire pit, tells Rob, you better go console your boy because he tripping. And she's mad. She's talking to Liv. She's like, Daniela says she forgot about the shower conversation. Liv was like, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. She didn't forget. And Rob, and she's like, and Aaron is acting like it was just a joke. He didn't mean anything. Da da da. Rob tells Aaron, bruh, you need to relax. Because you know her. You chose her. You know how sensitive she is. So you need to not play, but you need to console her and her needs. Because you think you want this girl to be your girlfriend. You have to think about her needs and what is important to her. Just because it's a joke to you, it's not a joke to her. So all you need to do is what I just said he needed to do was say, I understand and apologize for that. I'm like, look at Rob giving this man
I was gonna
advice.
say the way Rob has jumped up in my rankings based on this one episode. I'm like, what?
So quickly to have people jumping up in your rankings. Oh my god!
Not. I've had some people fall recently. So there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room in the rank.
Coming up and down.
A lot of people have been falling down.
Okay.
There's a lot of room in the middle. There's room for growth. There's room for upward movement in my rankings, and Rob is one of those people that. And here's the thing with Rob in this conversation. I don't think Rob recognizes that Aaron is the manipulator that he is. Because that's not the side of Aaron he's seeing.
Mm-hmm.
He is seeing, from Rob's perspective, he is seeing genuine guy trying to take care of this girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case. I just felt so bad for Rob giving this guy genuine advice when we know Aaron is not genuine. There's not a genuine bone in this man's body.
None whatsoever.
And it's just like, my conspiracy theory, honestly, is that at the next recoupling, if Aaron gets to pick before Rob, Aaron's going to pick Daniela. I see it happening at this point.
Oh my god.
And I don't know whether that's because I just want Rob to swoop in and save Liv from elimination, but at this point, I'm like, anything could fucking happen in this season. We come back here every damn day to talk about this show, and it's a different fucking scenario.
Oh, I would die. I would scream if he did that.
If he sent Kaylor home by picking Daniela,
I would scream. Literally scream.
Or what if Cassie comes? Who knows when the fuck Cassie and Harrison are coming in? But what if Cassie comes in? Rob picks Cassie, and Aaron's like, "Shit." What if Aaron is the one left with the decision between Daniela and Kaylor?
And he picks Daniela.
Oh, I see it happening. I see it happening, Lana.
Oh my god! Just scream.
Scenarios.
Oh
my god, I would scream.
I would scream so loud if that happened.
You were so right with your prediction because we are 48 minutes in. We haven't even made it to movie night.
I told you. I know it. I knew it was going to happen because it was a lot.
Should we head that way then?
We're going to get that way, but still, we're still more with them because they do go back. And so Rob gives him the advice, tells him to go pull Kaylor again. Kaylor gets pulled again, and they go upstairs to talk. And he's just like, she's still like upset about the fact that he won't just take, ownership of the things that he said and done. And he's like, you just make me feel so crazy. And I don't know. I just, all these feelings. And she's like, but you're not listening to me. He's like, I am because I effing love you. And I'm like, and she's like, I know because I love you too, but I just don't. I'm like,
oh, Kaylor, baby.
I can't. I no longer feel sympathy for Kaylor. I can no longer help her. I can no longer root for her because she folds like origami, and it's ridiculous. Because I don't know about you, Logan, but if any man tells me he loves me in the middle of an argument I'm
Done.
slapping the piss out of him.
Done.
How dare you try to manipulate me into saying you love me and this is why this is.
And the thing is, Kaylor clearly doesn't have as much relationship experience because that's why she's folding like origami here. And like I do, there's still a little bit of me that feels bad, and I honestly do hope that she ends up just getting dumped soon so she doesn't have to deal with this anymore. But I too am kind of beyond the point where I'm just like, it's like a train, it's like a car crash that I just like, I don't want to keep looking anymore. I'm over it. I don't want to keep dealing with Aaron and Kaylor.
It's so annoying.
Even saying their names just frustrates me. Hearing her cry again, like and her feelings are so valid and I will stand on that, but like, I'm tired of it.
So tired.
I'm exhausted watching the show.
So tired. Tired.
But like, oh God.
They make me exhausted. They make me exhausted.
Straight people are so exhausting. Fuck.
Look, you gay people are just exhausting.
I was gonna say this with gays would be fucking horrible.
I'm about to say, if this was all gay people, we'd be like, oh, I'm so exhausted.
They tried it. They tried it on a show once, and it was exhausting, and I loved every moment of it.
Which we love every moment of this.
Shout out to the queer season of Are You the One? But like, God.
Yes. But my God, yeah. It's crazy. Humans are exhausting. Let's just be honest. We are all exhausting. But it's sick. So we will move. We do get a text that the movie night is going to happen. And
we get the text. I will say the context of this, we get the text as Janae is comforting Serena because Serena is still going through it. I thought we were going to get a full emotional breakdown from Serena. Now, I got a text. God damn it, producer.
I was like, why would y'all text her in this moment? Why y'all texting in this moment when they seriously. Y'all thought this conversation was about to happen, but okay.
So we have the movie night poster. This is what we've got. We get like half of these.
Yeah.
In this, so we got what? Bitch.
First one was Idle Hands.
Idle Hands.
So first one was Idle Hands. And Idle Hands was Aaron first started off with Kaylor doing their little handshake. Da, 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 da. Switch over to Aaron and Casa showing Daniela the exact same handshake.
You couldn't have done a different handshake, Aaron. You couldn't have memorized 2 handshakes. Like, let's be real.
And he's sitting there eating his popcorn like, what? It's just a handshake. And I'm like, are you freaking psycho?
Yes.
Are you freaking psycho?
He's playing the traitors in this Love Island casa. Like,
he is so dang. How are you going to sit there and act like that is not a big deal? You made this up with Kaylor. And that was your own little secret special thing. And then you turn around and make the same one up with Daniela. You couldn't even go, instead of doing this, that, you could have been like, pop, pop, pop. You know, something different.
I don't know. Like,
so it could be completely different from your made up thing with Kaylor. Like, dude. And he like, what? It's what? And she's like, really? My favorite moment in this whole Leah was like, you want me to yell at him? Yes, Leah, yell at him because he's so clueless and dumb. How do you not see that's the
don't worry. Deal? She got her yelling in a bit, so it's all good.
Well, we'll talk about that. Wasn't it?
It's literally next.
We go to the next one, and it was Bitch Perfect.
Yes, and it was the Aaron, Kaylor, Liv and Rob conversation. This is post Rob picking Andrea. This is post Andrea's dumping.
Going home.
This is the conspiracy theory situation. This is also before the resolution that the girls had.
Yes.
My biggest fucking frustration with this entire movie night is that people were not clarifying when these fucking conversations happened. Because, and we get a blow up between Liv and Leah in this scenario. And I just wanted one of the 4 fucking people involved in this to be like, this happened after Andrea's dumping, before you all resolved your shit. Because I honestly feel like we wouldn't have gotten the blow up. Obviously, the blow up was good TV. But I just got... Honestly. It was good TV. I didn't like it either, because then Janae is trying to say something. Liv is trying to bring Janae into the situation.
It was so... Okay.
And then they're trying to bring Serena into the situation. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Here's the thing, and this is what I wanted these 4 girls to do. I wanted them to see that clip and be like, oh, well, we already hashed it out and we resolved it, so ain't no big deal. We can move on from this. Like, because y'all already talked about it. And Liv and Leah, y'all already had this argument. Y'all
Liv already told you everything that was said in this clip. You knew all of this already.
Y'all knew this. Everything that was happening in this. And here's my problem with producers, too. Why didn't you show the conversation with Rob and Leah as as the conversation with Rob, Leah, Liv, and Kayla? Because Rob literally distorted what Leah said in their conversation that when he turned around and told it to Liv and Kayla.
Thank you, because I got so fucking mad at that too. I was like, why are we... Oh my God. I'm so annoyed.
I mean, it's theories floating around that somebody on production is in love with Rob, or his brother is working for production, because they are literally coddling this man for no reason at all. Because if you would have showed the conversation with Rob and Leah, it would have showed that Leah never said, I never talk crap about you and Andrea. Leah said, I never talk crap about you to Andrea. Which she didn't. She never went to Andrea and said, Rob is a piece of crap. You shouldn't be with him. I hate him.
She never had a conversation with Andrea, period, that we saw.
No. But what she did do was say crap about Rob in the dressing room, and Andrea just happened to hear it. So,
which we
saw. So I'm like, she said to Rob, I tried to take a back seat in this elimination so I wouldn't be the vocal point. She never said, I took a back seat. I didn't say anything.
She said, I tried.
She said, I tried to take a back seat, which if I felt like if Liv and Kayla would, because Rob said, she said she took a back seat.
Now, I have a theory, Lana. Because we still have Forgetting Leah Marshall on this board. That's one of the titles. I'm curious if it is that I can't think of any other conversations that it would be, honestly. So I'm curious if it is an addendum where we do see the Rob and Leah conversations. I don't know if it is, but I'm curious if it is.
It could be, or it could be showing all the clips where Rob literally dogged Leah and made her crazy like this, because everybody wants to act like Leah just turned crazy. And we're not forgetting the conversations that Rob was having with Leah, secret messages and secret things to go sneak off with her, and all this stuff he was saying to her up until that point, even up until the point when he left her sitting there for Andrea. All the stuff he was saying, like, I still want you. I still like you. I still want to be with you. I still care about you. Da, 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 da. I will tell you if something is going on. I will tell you if I'm feeling different. And he never said anything.
It could feasibly be both. Honestly.
It could be that. It could be all of that.
It's obviously the Rob and Leah situation. I'm just curious what they're going to show from it.
Me too. Interesting. But so that argument happens. And when they start... It was a lot of moments that I took away from this one because when Leah got upset and was like, "Shut the F up, Liv, shut up," and she was just like, and Kayla jumped in, was like, "You can't tell her to shut the F up, but we're trying to talk and have a conversation," and da 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 da. And Serena was like, "Okay, y'all need to calm down." And when Leah was like, "No," and she put her hand up, was like, "You can't say this," and Kayla was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
And Serena was like, "Okay, don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
be all dramatic, Kayla. Don't do that." And when Leah said, "You got this white woman scared happening right now, and I'm not here
White woman
for it."
tears. I
She
was
said,
like,
"White woman scared." She said, "You are be acting white woman scared." And I was like, clock it, Leah. Because all that, come on. Don't do that. When she tell her to get her hand out my face. Come on, Kayla. Stop.
white woman tears.
White woman scared. That was that white woman scared mentality. You're not scared of Leah. You're not scared of Leah. Stop doing that. And then when Janae was like, "Y'all are so much better than this," and Leah was like, don't stay out of this, Nene. And she was like, "No, y'all are better than this because y'all hashed this out already." Like Janae was trying to calm it down. Like, y'all already hashed this out. What is the reason of y'all still arguing about this? Y'all better than this. You weren't part of this. You don't have to. And so when Serena was like, "And we're not going to get on Janae," and Kayla, "We're not getting on Janae. I'm not talking to you." I'm just like, I need all of them to calm the freak down because those 4 women know what happened and they know the timeline that it happened. And so they should have been able to look at that, watch the clip and be like, "Yep, that happened." Like, I mean, I didn't think you said that. I mean, I said it, but it's okay. We talked about it. We hashed it out. It's done. And they should have moved on. Like, they gave those boys that show for no reason at all. No reason at all. Very annoyed by that.
I don't get it. But we move then to, was it She's Just Not That Into You next?
It was Wingman of Casa Street.
God.
It was Wingman of Casa Street.
Nicole, come collect your man, please. God, this just...
And this is exactly what Serena has been saying about Kendall since they got back from Casa. And he want to act like, I don't know what. That was after the challenge. This was light years. Light years? Like, you telling Cordell that Dea is giving him all the attention, light years ahead of what Serena was doing. You telling Aaron or Daniela, "Oh yeah, you and Aaron find hitting it off so quickly."
I love that they showed the Kendall and Daniela conversation. I love that.
And he's like, "Oh, what? What did you want me to say?" "Nothing." I want you to say nothing.
I'm happy for you. Don't forget the person that you have in the villa. Like, there's a lot of different ways that Cordell could have been that wingman without saying the hyperbolic statements that he did. Like, there's just a...
Kendall, not Cordell.
Did I say Cordell? I meant Kendall. Absolutely, obviously, of course. Anyway.
And he was just like, and Nicole was like, he didn't tell me he did all that. He just said he was. I was like, of course he didn't. And again, like, because he's a bitch. Of course he ain't gonna tell you. He messy.
And again, I appreciate Nicole not blindly defending Kendall in this. I appreciate Nicole for that. Nicole being like, really? like
you that man, you that dude.
I don't think she's gonna dump him over this.
Of course,
but it's gonna obviously be a conversation that is had, and I hope that she is able to steer him in the right way.
Yeah. Some things don't take dumping right out the big, but some things you just have to have a conversation about. Like, you need to change this about yourself because that's kind of foul. This is how you're coming across. And I think somebody said on Twitter or TikTok last night that I saw that was the perfect example of who Kendall's personality to me. Kendall is the only. He reminds. They said he reminds them of the only black guy in a white fraternity at a PWI who feels like
Oh
he has to do
God.
everything to fit in and say stupid stuff. And that's Kendall. He is the black guy in the white fraternity at
Yeah.
the PWI who's like, yeah, Chad, we're great. You can do
Because
whatever
let's
you
be
want.
honest, he probably was.
Probably was. And that I was like, ooh, that is the perfect analogy.
That is an absolutely perfect analogy.
Perfect
I,
analogy. Yo.
having been in a frat, I've
Mm-hmm. With the
seen
one,
similar.
we had.
When I was in it, we had 3.
Yep,
And
that's pretty much it.
we were a PWI as well. So
Yep. Like I say, it's just we just feel these things. We just know these things. But yeah, that was like that's the perfect analogy. But yeah,
and there also, I will go ahead and say, there's nothing inherently bad about that. It's just if you are acting the way that Kendall is. Like, the analogy is correct. There's nothing inherently bad about it, but the way that Kendall's acting is not good.
It depends on the frat. Like if you're
Yes,
one of
and
those frats,
mine was fine. When I was there, at least, it was fine.
if you're one of those frats, and we know what frats we're talking about.
And we were not that frat. So
but if you're one of those frats and you have the one or the two black guys and then the one or the two Asian guys, and they're always trying to
we were actually pretty diverse now that I'm thinking
with the
about
Chads and the Warrens and the Michaels. You know, if you're trying to fit in with those the Tonys,
God.
you know. Yeah. So I get it.
Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to relive my frat days. Next was
she's just not that into you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she's just not that into you. Then Wet Hot American Summer. Then The Devil Wears Overalls. So she's just not that into you. This is like a day 3 conversation between Serena and Leah.
Literally,
and I'm like, okay, y'all ran out of footage then. Y'all had to pull something from day 3 talking about Cheez-Its and shit.
They literally had nothing because Serena has not been anything.
And again, all I needed from Serena, or quite honestly Leah, was a clarification. Like, this happened like week 1.
Right.
And that's what she did. Yeah.
That's literally what she did. She was like, this was week 1. I didn't know. And I even said in the clip that people can grow on you. And he did. He grew on me. But in the moment of this was like literally one of the first conversations we've ever had. And he was saying, I don't know what a long-term goal is. And I want to be an ad for Cheez-Its. And Leah was like, oh, I wish somebody better for you. But then she was like, but y'all becoming my favorite couple at the same time. So I was like, this wasn't bad. And I don't think Cordell took it as a bad thing. Just like, oh, did I say that?
Right.
And maybe it wasn't funny that she mocked him about being in the Cheez-Its ad. She didn't know if he was serious or not at that moment.
It was a little funny.
It was funny. I was like, okay. And she was like, and he, like I said, somebody who I just met. This is week 1 conversation. I don't really know. He could grow on me, maybe, and he did. So I kind of feel like that wasn't that bad.
No,
that wasn't that
This
bad.
was the most tame of anything that we saw.
But what pissed me off is the boys trying to act like this was the worst thing ever. Cordelia, are you all right? Like, I'm chilling. I'm like, you chilling? I'm like, Kendall, shut up. Shut up. This wasn't bad.
The bro of it all on this season is
So then we move on to
Wet Hot American Summer.
And again,
it's the moment we were all looking forward to seeing. Not really. I muted it. I didn't want to hear it again.
It was the clip that started that Kayla saw, but she never finished the clip. And so now we got to see she got to see the whole clip of what happened. And she saw the kiss. That was not a peck, but it went on and on and on. And even Daniela was like, oh God, she's seeing everything. We didn't tell her any of this. It was a pack. And Kaylee was like, I don't think I have any more tears to cry over this. I was like, I hope not. And he's like, what do you want me to say? I said, I'm sorry. She's like, I'm sick of hearing I'm sorry. I wish you would just tell me the truth when I ask you for it. He's like, well, then fine, I won't say anything. She's like, fine. Like, this man is psycho. He is a psychopath. He is a psychopath. And he didn't shed one tear. He didn't get buck. He didn't get loud. He didn't try to fight. Nothing. He just sat back, folded his arms, and was pouting. But on the next one, the devil wears denim or overalls. It was about Leah's conversation she had with the girls in the dressing room right after Andrea chose Rob and Rob left her.
This is like literally the
right
fallout.
Right after. And I felt this was the most unfair reaction from anybody on this thing, because Leah did not deserve this. Because honestly, Rob, you played in her face and she gave him, that was her very unfiltered, very raw emotions. Did she say some things that wasn't nice? Sure, it wasn't nice, but that's how she was feeling in that moment. If she would have had time to think about it and calm down, maybe she wouldn't have said all that.
Yes. And honestly, in this scenario, I don't have an issue really with Leah or Rob. My issue is with Aaron. The way that and I fucking, if I didn't love Serena already, the way Serena said, oh, you're going to bat so much more for Rob than you did anything with Kaylor. And he goes, yeah, because that's my bro. Kaylor, that should show you every fucking thing you need to know to get the fuck away from that man.
Because if my friend is more important than your girl's feel, she been crying about you for 3 days straight. And you ain't been bucking
Not
up
even,
yet.
It's been like 8 days straight at this point, Lana. Right. Remember Casa?
Casa happened.
She cried every damn day through Casa.
Every day.
This woman has been crying for 8 or 9 days straight. And you are going to sit there. You are going to sit there and defend your friend.
And not your girl. Not your girl.
Thank you, Serena, for calling out this man's hypocrisy. Because I am over it. I am done. I am frustrated with that shit. What I will say, I did appreciate that and I don't think Rob or Leah looks perfect in this scenario at all. We said it when the whole thing went down. I'm going to say it again here. What I will say is I do appreciate that Rob was able to convey his feelings after the fact. Now that time has passed, I'm happy he was able to convey exactly how he feels to Leah, because that did seem to be a big hurdle when they had their connection. So I'm happy that Rob was able to say, yeah, I do still really like you. I don't know if I can get past what happened and the lies, even though he did also contribute to a lot of that. But I am happy that he was able to express the fact that he felt embarrassed about the whole situation and felt it was a very open and vulnerable conversation about the fact that he was open and vulnerable. And that I appreciate seeing from him. Equally as much, I do appreciate Leah just taking it on the chin, because the things she said about him in that moment, yes, it was heat of the moment. I appreciate that they both acknowledged that as well. But I really appreciate that Leah was like, I am sincerely sorry for the things that I said about you. It was a heat of the moment situation. I don't stand by those things. I could have worded things better. And I think Leah finally seeing the way that she has been talking about people was a great reality check for Leah. I gotta be honest. So I think I didn't have a particular issue with either of those people involved. My issue was just with Aaron and his bullshit hypocrisy.
I did have an issue with Rob saying, I see what the tweet was about now. I was like,
that I also had an issue with. Yeah,
I was like, no.
Also the way that Leah was like, well, I see it too. And right. I think that also
I felt like that was a little manipulative. I don't feel
I
like
agree. I agree.
don't feel
I didn't
I
love
don't feel
that.
like she
We didn't
should have.
need it.
We didn't need that. We didn't need that. I don't. And my thing is, I'm like, I wanted Rob to take more accountability in this too,
I
because
agree with that.
as much as you were hurt and you felt embarrassed and vulnerable by how you reacted and da da da, you need to take accountability to why she felt this way
You're not
and be
innocent
like,
in this either.
right, you are not innocent in this. You could have been like, you know what? I do understand that I caused you a lot of pain and some vitriol to make you feel this way, even though I didn't like how watching that response and watching how that you felt. I felt that you could have been, more understanding to me, but I could have been more understanding to you. Like, I feel like we started very strong and we it just didn't work. And
Yeah.
I will take accountability to how I treated you to get you to that point, because he did, like, he could have made some accountability issue, because she didn't go that way just for no reason. She didn't get crazy and wild
And
and
yeah.
make those points for no reason at all. He needs to take accountability into what his part was to drive her to that point, and he's not doing that. And that's what I'm like, come on,
I'm
Rob,
curious
you're
if
almost there.
Mhm. Yeah. And I agree with you completely. I don't know whether we'll see any sort of accountability stuff if we get, like, whatever ends up happening with the Forgetting Leah Marshall clip. I don't know whether we'll get that from him. I too would like to see him take some accountability for it.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the ones we have left, Lana,
Mm-hmm.
we have Forgetting Leah Marshall, Gone Girl, Fatal Attraction, Challengers, Clueless. I love the Clueless reference.
Mm-hmm.
And Crazy Stupid Casa.
Mm-hmm. I think the Fatal Attraction one might be more Rob Leah stuff.
You think?
Maybe Rob Leah, maybe Leah Connor Janae.
That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. I think it's going to be more because Janae hasn't really been brought into any of this at all.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like, and I also don't think all of these are inherently negative.
Right.
I think Challengers is probably a positive one. Watch me saying this now and it ends up being the fucking worst shit ever. I feel like Challengers might be something to do with, like, Janae, Kenny, Catherine. I could see it, or I could see it being more Dea, Cordell, Serena, and I don't need to see it personally, but I could see it happening. Crazy Stupid Casa is the one that's kind of throwing me a little bit. I actually think it's going to be a lot more of the Raunchy Brides challenge.
See, and I don't understand why they would do that, because each group nobody cares about challenges. You do stuff in challenges.
Except for
This is
Kaylor.
all in challenge.
Genuinely, except for Kaylor. Kaylor seems to care.
I mean, even in challenges, they both agree that doing stuff outside of challenges is the worst.
I think in her frail emotional state, based on this situation, I feel like if she saw any more of them making out, it might just push her over the edge, which I think is maybe what producers are trying to do.
Yeah,
that also could be Clueless. I think Clueless is also a part. I think it has to be about Kaylor, right?
I don't know. See, I was confused about Clueless. I don't know what Clueless could be about.
I think it has to be more Aaron and Daniela shit.
But what do you think, Gone Girl?
Andrea,
that's what I was thinking.
It has to be something with Rob and Andrea.
Maybe it's the conversation that Rob had with Leah about Andrea.
I'm thinking that might be what it is. But then what's Forgetting Leah Marshall then in that case?
I don't know. Maybe the Leah stuff saying she said about Janae during the con. I don't know what it could be about.
Oh, it could be. It could be. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I feel like Gone Girl has to be Andrea. Clueless is the one that's still throwing me a little bit. But I feel like it has to be. The only person that's been clueless to something that their partner has done is Kaylor and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. But we do see in the previews next week that Aaron is going to take off his microphone and walk away. I hope he completely walks out the villa and never comes back.
I
But we
hope
know.
he does too.
But we
I
know
really
probably
hope
won't.
he does too.
I hope he just goes.
And that's all we get. I'm like,
Forget
how much have you noticed as well that the episodes are consistently longer now?
Yeah. Which
They're all an hour and a half episodes. Which,
I'm
hey,
like, because
I
they
ain't
see
mad.
the public is eating it up, and so they are.
We are. We sure are.
I love it. I love it. But we
made such a good decision covering this season. I gotta be honest, because I'm
absolutely.
really. Because watch how invested I got after like week 2, and now I'm here every fucking day talking about it. Like,
I'm about to say, I've been invested since day 1.
I know.
Not ever a chance of me not missing a thing, but it's so good and I love it. I'm glad we are covering it and we get to talk more about it. But we will be back on Fridays to talk about Thursday's episode because it's Wednesday. I hate Wednesdays.
We've got enough to do today, though, that like we'll be.
I hate Wednesdays. I hate Wednesdays because I want to watch more episodes. But yeah, we'll be back on Friday to talk about Thursday's episode as well as all of our other things that we're going to talk about. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I know we kept you longer than we usually keep you, but it was a lot to talk about. But
y'all know there was a lot to talk about.
So we appreciate you sticking around with us. We'll be back, like I said, on Friday. Hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Click on all the links to all of our channels in our description below and subscribe to all of our channels. We appreciate it. Join our membership page on Patreon to get exclusive content and early access. Also follow us all on our audio podcast channels as well so you can catch us on the go. Follow us on our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow us, me and Logan, if you want, down there below. And you can also get your cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link also will be in the description below. We appreciate you. Be safe out there. Stay hydrated. And we'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.
Bye, Islanders.
Cheers.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Movie Night Part 2, the sequel.
Electric Boogaloo. Shenanigans and buffoonery.
And foolishness.